Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500 and welcome back to Project Rosie. Today we're going to put the stripes on the car. Stay tuned if you'd like to see how to fit self-adhesive vinyl stripes. It's quite easy, takes a little bit of time, but stay tuned and we'll show you how to do it. So we are going to go from this to this. Stay tuned if you want to see how to fit these stripes on your car. We have got some stripes. So I bought these on eBay. As I mentioned before, I bought these. Oh, someone suggested putting stripes on, and I haven't used stripes for quite some time. In fact, I've done more taking off faded stripes rather than putting them on, but I have put them on before, and I've done that in two different ways in the past. I've done it on dry, because these are obviously self-adhesive. I've done it dry, and I've also done it wet. What I mean by that is, doing it wet, you use some washing up liquid which allows you then to move it around. Just trying to separate all these. So what we've got is obviously for both sides, we've got the bit that goes so that's the bit that goes on the back wing, and then we've got the bit, well, this whole thing goes on the back quarter, of course. So we've got two of those. Not sure if they're sided. I guess they must be, mustn't they? We'll have to look at that. You've got the bit that goes on the front wing, and then you've got the main bit on the door. Now, I'm going to put these on wet because it is much easier. Now, I did send a message to the seller and say, you know, can we do this? Can we put these on wet? And he said yes. He actually said yes, you get a better finish if you do. But he did say leave the paper on if you can until such time as it's dry. Don't know why that was particularly, but I will take his advice and do that. Normally I haven't done that. I've obviously when you're squeegeeing, if you're squeegeeing over the top of the paper rather than on the vinyl itself, you're going to reduce any damage that you cause to it. So we've got, excuse me while I'm getting these apart, so we got the bit that goes on the door, which is the main bit, two of those obviously. As I say, I don't know whether they're sided or not, but we'll have a look at that. And he also sent me whatever's in here for free. Now, as I said before, I think, oh, we've got a nice air freshener. He sent me the bits that go on the mirrors. I thought he was sending me something else as well. I'm not sure he has then, in that case. Okay, what I've done is I've just stuck it with some tape in position all the way along. Done it on both sides. What I've discovered is I've just been looking at the pictures from the fellow I bought it from. I don't know if you can see that. And I think the way, because if you look at the end here, it overlaps quite a lot. So these are different to ones I've used in the past. So what I'm going to do with this one is I am going to take the mirror off, and then I'm going to actually run it. I'm going to run this one right from the front across the mirror, and then obviously cut out the mirror slot. Now, I've not, in the past, I've had ones that have been cut just for this bit here, round here, and then round there. These ones aren't like that. These are just in one piece, which I suppose in theory is easier. So I'm going to take the mirror off, and then I think we'll do the door one first. Once we get that in position, then we can think about putting the front one on. So let's do that one first. I'm just going to take the mirror off, and I'll be back. Right, there you go. So I suppose once that's on, that probably gives it a bit of a neater finish, doesn't it, I suppose? So obviously it wraps around. You probably need to move forward a little bit because it will wrap around on the inside of the door as well. So let's actually move that forward a bit. Oops, not that much. About like that. And then there's plenty to wrap around on that side of the door as well. The good thing about doing it this way, doing it wet, is you can move it around to get it in the right position. So that's sort of where it's going to go. You know, this is a problem. It's a bit breezy today, but we sort of know where we're going. So I think what I'm going to do, so it's all been cleaned, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a good squirt. This time I'm going to take this tape off carefully, stick it on the windscreen for now. Imagine doing this dry, where you know it goes on and then that's it. You don't get a second chance. Nightmare. So I'm going to get this on. I'm going to get it lubed up. And when I say lubed up, I do mean lubed up, because we are going to... Oh no, the top's come off my bottle of squirty water. Oh dear, let's try again. Right, plenty of water on there. Plenty of water on there. I'll tell you what I do need to do, get me squeegee. I haven't got me squeegee. Right. Let's get some more on. Plenty, make sure there's plenty on there. And then we've got to peel back. So it's green on the top. Peel back the backing paper. Get it off completely, and then it'll stop blowing in the wind. Windy day is not ideal. We can line it up on that line, make sure it's overlapped, and so as you can see I can move it about to make sure. It needs to come this way a bit. A bit more this way. We need to make sure it's straight. And then squeegee it to get any bubbles and any liquid out. And also by doing it wet, it helps for it to lay smoother, so you're less likely to get bubbles. I don't think I've got any, as far as I can see. That looks alright. Looks straight to me. Yep, looks good. So I'm just going to tuck it round the door, which may not work very well at present. So I think that will have to be something that will be done afterwards. Is that the paper or is that the whole thing? No, the whole thing is coming. I think we'll have to tuck it around the door after. So what I'm going to do, bloody thing's blowing up the thing. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a piece of backing paper back over that bit, because I don't want that sticking there. And then that can be stuck round afterwards, and I think the same will go for this bit. So we'll put that back onto the backing paper like that. As I say, the seller did say leave this paper on. Personally, I would like to take it off. Reason being, is you can see that it's lined up properly because obviously you've got a border. Yeah, that looks all right to me. What do you think? I know you can't really tell. It's difficult to tell while you've got the backing on. Sorry, not the backing. You've got the transfer tape on the front of it. But he said leave it on. Let's go over it again. So there's no bubbles in this whatsoever. Whether any appear as it's drying, I don't know. But yeah, that's that. I think it's now time to do the front bit. I'm trying to work out where the best place to put this one is, because obviously it's not meant to fold over the edge there. It's meant to come down. There's a bit of a point there, which is how I've done it. But yeah, I think that's probably about the best position. I feel like it should come further forward. I'm not sure. Obviously that's not stuck, that's just stuck on with tape, that bit. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. This seems to be sticking really nice, and there's absolutely zero bubbles in it, which is good. I think we'll wet this one up and put it on, actually. Let's do it now. Right, I'll do it live. I'm not going to do this on time lapse. I'm going to show you it properly. Let me just move the camera back a little bit. Let's take that off. I'm sure some of you are going to know a better way. Someone always knows a better way. Alright, peel the backing off. Try and get your fingers off of it as much as possible. And then we want to line it up. See what I mean? Look at that. Look how you can move it around. But you can't do that if it's you know, one stick. I think that's about right. And then we'll have to try and you need to line it up. Get it in a straight line and line it up, which that is. Get me squeegee. I got this squeegee free with some other transfers, not with these ones. Sorry about that, battery ran out. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I got this squeegee free with some other transfers, and I think it would be a nice touch if the suppliers of these transfers supplied a little spatula. I mean, they cost pennies, wouldn't they? I think it would be quite nice. So that the shorter bits like this are quite easy. There were no bubbles in it. As I say, this is the benefit of putting it on wet. The only problem I've got, of course, is I need to get it tucked in there. I've got the other bit tucked in there. If I take that bit of tape off for a minute. Got that bit tucked in, and I've sort of got to get this bit tucked in as well, but let's see if I can do it. Don't want to rip it. Actually, probably better off in, what if I open the door? That might be better. Yeah. That's better. What you don't want to do is leave if you get it in there, if you bend it over too much, you don't want to end up with like a spit sitting proud just here, which I think is what that is sort of doing. Because it's not that sticky at the moment. That's the problem. It's not that sticky because it's wet. Once it dries, it will be sticky. So you've got to just make sure that bit stays stuck. I think once it dries, if it's not stuck to the car, it will just stick back. I think that'll be okay, having done these before. So on this one, what I did is I started to peel that back just to try, and it sort of started lifting it away a little bit because I wanted to get that round there. I'll trim that with a knife just there once it's all dried. But see, it looks good. But we'll leave it. We'll take the advice of the seller. See what I mean? Look here, it's coming off. because it's wet. But I think that will stick back once it's dry. That will stick back easy. If it doesn't, I'll have to get some glue behind it, but I think it will. So it's looking good, looking good. So just got the back bit to do now. I think the back bit is probably the fiddliest bit, because you've got to get it round the curve and get it in the correct place. Let me just, it was taped on, but of course the tape's fallen off and it's windy and it's been blown around. Let me get it stuck back on again and we'll go from there. Right. Okay, so we're all lubed up again. You're pardoning. Oh, I need taking the tape, the back off. I know sometimes what people do is they'll do it like this. Let's do it like that. So they'll get it sort of stuck on a little bit, and then they'll sort of, I think that's all right when it's dry. I'm not going to do it like that. Oh, hang on, what's going on here? We got separate bits here. What the hell? What the hell? Oh, I see. It's done. Oh, of course. Yeah. They're done separate. Of course they are. Okay, so let me. Oh, shit. Let me get some more water on. The trouble is, if you're doing like this, of course, you're probably better off squirting it onto the actual material itself, the vinyl, because it runs down the panel, of course. So we need to make sure all of those, I'm not sure we're getting this in, make sure all of these are staying on the backing paper. Like so. And then we offer that up. Like so. Make sure it's in the right place. Like so. Needs to lower a little bit. And I think if we close it, we need to move over a little bit. Excuse the screaming kids. Like that. Right, if I close this now. Anyone know where Winnie and Luca live?
Come on, you two! Stop there then, stop there!
Right, where's me,
Henry, come on!
Okay, and we fold that over, squeegee it along. Like so. Yeah, definitely a good idea to squeegee it with this paper on, that's for sure, because you're not doing it directly on the vinyl. I think lining it up is obviously quite important as well. You want it to line up, you know, horizontally, or vertically rather, which it does. There's no bubbles in this whatsoever. As I say, whether any develop as it dries out, I don't know. But at the moment, there are none. Which is great. I know you can see bubbles there, but that's not on the vinyl. Right. I think we just need to fold it around the inside of the door. Let's just get these bits of rubbish in the bin. Let's say these, a bit like the other one, you know, you need to make sure it's stuck there. Once it's dried and it's stuck there, you can then fold that bit over properly. I don't think you can really do that until such time as it has dried. So I think we'll leave that just tucked around the edge for now. Let's say, because the adhesive will get sticky again once it dries out. There. That, I believe, is that side done. What do you think? I think it was a good addition to this car, because obviously this is a pop, so it's quite, I was going to say boring, a little bit bland with, oh, why has it gone out of focus? You know, no alloys. So I just want to make it a little bit more interesting. I'm not going to put the mirrors back on for the time being. I'm going to leave those until such time as it's dry and I can give it another squeegee if necessary. But yeah, pleased with that so far. Right, sorry about that, I was just messing around focusing. So yeah, we'll come back. I'm going to do the other side. I'm not going to film doing the other side because it's just going to be exactly the same as this. And then once we'll come back, we'll probably leave it overnight and we'll come back in the morning, take the tape off and see what it looks like. So yeah, I'll see you in the morning. We can get this peeled off. There we go. Yeah, stuck lovely, no bubbles. Oh, there's a little bubble there, but that'll push out, I think. Now we knew that was going to happen because we need to get that. Maybe I should have left that on there. Sausages. Can't get that back now. Oh, flipping heck. My silly fault. I need to get that bit of paper back on there. Like that. And then I need to get those bits tucked in there. This is the awkward bit. There you go, that one's in. See if I can get them in there together without them sticking. Might be easier doing it with the door open actually. Yeah, I think it is. And we need to get that wrapped around. There's a little bit of a bubble in this, but it will come out. And then what we'll do is we'll get a knife in there. Need to wrap that one round as well. Around the door. They're a bit fiddly, these. And once the tape's taken off, the application tape, carrier tape, whatever you call it, and we can peel this one off, which I'd already sort of started to do. It is definitely better leaving this tape on until such time as it dries. As I say, the only minus point of that is you can't necessarily see that you've got it straight, but it is straight. Obviously we've got to get the mirrors back on as well. There we go, and we'll wrap that round. Yeah, no bubbles. Look, tiny little bubble there, but so you can easily get those out, push them up the top, and they'll go out. But I know when I've done this stuff before and I've done it dry, you get loads of bubbles. Sometimes you have to burst them with a pin, but doing it like this, I mean, I had one little bubble there and one tiny little bubble there, which have easily gone. We'll obviously have to cut that around there because that's not actually stuck to anything. And we'll get that folded round and stuck like that. And then we'll trim that off later with a knife. There we go, perfect. There we go, look at that. How good does that look? Yeah. That looks really good. I suppose in a way it's better the fact that it's it goes. I sort of quite liked the one where it sort of stopped here with a curve and then started again here with a curve, but I think it actually, once the mirror's on, it'll probably look quite good like that. Yeah. And then we got the last bit on this side. We'll do it from this end. Make sure it comes off and none gets left behind. That one isn't. That's it. And that bit. You just have to sort of roll it back and try and do it at a bit of an angle again. Get that door open. Oh. Oh, what's happened there? A little bit of dirt or something. Oh, that's a shame. Got a little bit of dirt just on the edges. And it's got stuck to the glue. Never mind. My fault. Shows a little bit, but not too bad. Yeah, that looks really good. I like that. What do you reckon? Let's just get it done finished off the other side, because I started it earlier, and of course I didn't have the keys to get the door open, so we need to do the same on this side. That's it. That's that done. Just need to put the mirrors back on now, and then that's done. I think they do look better with stripes. Yeah, looks much better. What do you reckon? Yeah, the fellow on eBay that I got this from, company name J&S Graphcs. I believe he sent me a message and said he's about to launch his website, or he's just launched his website. So I'll find out what the link is for that. I imagine it's probably J&S Graphcs, but I'll find out and I'll put the link in the description, as well as the link to the eBay shop where I bought these from. So if you want to get them for your car, you can. And I think if you follow the way that I've done it, you can't go far wrong. So we'll get the mirror back on, and then we'll take one final look at it, and then the only thing that's left to do on this car, apart from a clean, and of course we're waiting for those things to come today to do the pipe in there. Once we've got those on, get that all back together, get the side panel on, give it a final little clean on the inside, final clean on the outside, service it, and then I've still got to book the MOT. So I'm going to try and do that this afternoon if I can, see if I can get one booked somewhere. Right, that's the stripes done. Mirrors back on, they all look really good. Nice and lined up. Yeah, pleased with that. The only thing I haven't done is tuck that in the other side. I haven't bothered moving the car now. I'll do that tomorrow or something. I'm actually working today. I'm on my lunch break at the moment. I just need to tuck those in properly and cut them where needed. And on this side, oh, I've locked it again. I've done it on the other side. I just need to do it on this side. Just use the little craft knife to trim it. But yeah, and it's desperately in need of a clean again now. It's a bit gungy. On the bonnet where I cleaned under the bonnet. Pardon me. Yeah, so still waiting for Amazon to come. Pardon me, keep burping. Excuse me. Yeah, just waiting for Amazon to come to do that. And I need to book this MOT, don't I? If I just find somewhere to do it next week, then it'll be ready by next week. Just need to find someone. If not, I'm just going to have to be in a couple of weeks' time, but we'll see what we can do. There you go, all done. So these are, let me show you one. I've got a pack of 10 here for £2.06. So if we ever have to do this again, I can't even get them out. There they are. So they're 4mm and they're barbed, and it sort of clicks over the top, so it should be watertight. I mean, I haven't tried it, I haven't tested it, but I think it should be okay. I've then wrapped it with tape really tightly, and then I've wrapped it with the wet tape with the cloth tape as well, and it's all nice and snug. Taped it back into that to keep it all in position, and I just need to get that back on now. So that's hopefully done it now. Well, not hopefully done it, it has done it. Good news, got my MOT booked. It's not until next Thursday. I'm working next Thursday, but I don't start work till 11 o'clock, and I've booked the MOT for 8:30. So give me plenty of time to get to work afterwards. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm going to service it Monday, and then that should be it, apart from a clean. So, assuming it passes on Thursday, it'll be up for sale by the weekend. It's just got to work out how much to put it up for now. I still haven't done an HPI check. Let me get out of the car. So I still haven't done an HPI check on it. I was going to leave that to the last minute, but I think I'll probably do that over this weekend. I want to make sure it is still unrecorded. It should be. It was unrecorded at the time, but I have heard people say that they bought a car that's unrecorded according to Copart, and when they've done a check, it's been recorded. It's not an accident damaged car, it was a stolen car, so it shouldn't be. If anything, it should only be a Cat X. Not anything else, because there was literally no damage, apart from obviously the tiny little bit in the wheel arch there, which wasn't crash damage as such. Yeah, should be, fingers crossed, because I can't remember, I did have a look on eBay, I think it was at eBay, at the same year, same sort of mileage. I can't remember what the prices were going for now. It was quite a lot, up to 5 grand, some of them. Obviously I'm not going to sell it anywhere near that, near a 3. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sort of toying with the idea of about 3.5, actually. Not sure. I need to do a bit more research on that. So let me know if will you be seeing this? Yes, you will be seeing this video on Wednesday. So the day before. You'll be seeing this video the day before the MOT. So give me a few days to get your opinion. What do you think I should sell this for? Let me know. I'll be back tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday. Just going to get that panel on. That's all I've got to do now for today. I'll be back on Monday for the service, and then that'll be it. And then we'll come back then. Will we have another video? Yes, of course we will. Because obviously a short one probably, because obviously after the MOT. But we've got to get the MOT done first. So, but yeah. Anyway, I'll see you on Monday when I come to do the service. Today's service day. The reason the car's up on ramps, as you can see, it's not all the way up on ramps. Bearing in mind that this driveway is tilted that way, by getting it a little bit up on the ramps, gets the car more level. But it is slightly leaning backwards, reason being the sump plug is at the back of the sump. So in theory that means that the oil runs to the back of the sump. Hopefully that's the case, because this is how I do it. So I'm just warming the engine up a little bit, just to warm the oil up a bit, just so it flows a bit more freely, and then we'll get the sump plug out and drop the oil. I was trying to work out why it was that I don't normally film when I'm doing servicing, and the reason I've just discovered is because, as I just have, I just got bloody engine oil all over my £650 camera. As you could see from that little last bit of footage there, I can't find the socket for the sump nut, the hex socket. So rather than, I've ordered some more, a set of them on Amazon, but without having to delay this, I thought I'd go the old-fashioned route, and or rather the new-fashioned route, I guess it probably is. You saw me using that pump. It's pretty good. It's a bit slow. As long as you warm the oil, you have to warm the oil up more than if you was just draining it out the sump. But it does the job. And then I've just taken the oil filter off, and I'm just letting that drip for a little while, and then we'll put a new one on. Got a Crossland one down there ready to put on. and then we'll refill with oil. It's quite satisfying when you do a service. I checked the, I don't actually think it could, let me show you it. I'll pull it out a little bit, it is dripping, but there's no rust around the outside of that. I don't think it's actually, although I couldn't find a service history for recent, I don't think it's long since it's been done. The oil was what I would say fairly black. It wasn't thick, but it was fairly black. But the air filter looks almost new, so I've not bothered changing that. It's no point. It's almost new. I should have shown you it, but I didn't. I put it all back together. I just did that while I had the engine running, warming the oil up. But yeah, there was no point changing that. But obviously it's nice to check it. But certainly not changing it if it doesn't need it. And I probably could have got away without actually servicing it, but I thought as the oil was a bit on the black side, I'll do it anyway. So we've done the brakes, oil and filter. That's all that's needed really, but I'll go over it and do, I've got my little checklist. You know, some garages use them when you take your car in for service, they check everything and tick it off, or at least they're supposed to check everything, along with tyres and all sorts of things. Aircon, if it's got it, they check that, and battery and output voltage and so on and so forth. Oh, spilt bloody oil everywhere. It's that pump. When you take it out, it sort of flicks. It's really annoying. But yeah, we'll give that another 5 minutes or so to drain down, then we'll refit that. I ended up having to put it up on, it isn't just on a jack before you all start jumping up and down, it is on an axle stand as well. But obviously you can't get to the oil filter, because I did obviously have it up on the ramps, but I wanted to take it down off the ramps to do the pump to get it lower. But yeah, so I had to jack it up, put it on a stand just to get to the oil filter. For those of you who don't know, who've never done an oil change before, you use some of the oil, the old oil, and just smear it across the top of the, let me show you. I'm not going to show you doing it because I don't want to get oil on my camera. So you got the rubber, what do you call it? Seal, you want to call it a seal? Yeah, it even says it on there, apply oil to seal face, clean seating area, tighten by hand, fill with oil to normal level, start engine check for leaks. Well, that's what I was actually going to say was, you only need to tighten it up by hand, you don't need to get a wrench on it. The wrench is only for getting it undone, and it didn't take much, to be honest. Yeah, so that's that. I think what I'm going to do, what I often do, is I actually put the date on it with a marker pen, so people can see then when it was done. Good idea? What do you think? Anyway, be back shortly. Right, that's it. The service is done. The only other thing I've got to do is, as I mentioned, is I've got to go over my checklist, check all the tyre, tread depths, everything else. Final bit of tarting up will come next weekend, as it's in for MOT on Thursday at 8:30 in the morning on Thursday. Once that's past that, hopefully it will pass. We can give it its final clean and touch up all the little bits and pieces here and there. There's a few tar spots that need to come off. That can all wait till the end of the week. That'll be its final titivation, and then it'll be ready for sale. So yeah, so I've just topped up the window washer fluid, completely empty. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Actually, someone suggested. Actually, let's do it now. I'm not sure if it'll work because it's a bit too warm. Someone suggested to test the heated rear window, put the heated rear window on and then breathe over it and see if it clears it. Let me try it. Heated rear window on. Let's try. Bear with. Yes. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it is. That's a good tip that was. Thanks for that, whoever that was. It does work. So we know that that's all working super fandango. Actually, one last thing I didn't check on that. Let's just close the boot. Is the number plate lights. I'm sure they would be okay. Put the lights on. Yeah, both working. That's good. So we know now that everything is working in that boot. So I think my theory on the one wire splitting into three must be correct. Does make sense, but it must be correct, mustn't it? Otherwise there would be errors, things wouldn't work and so on. And it all is working lovely. So that's it for now. So that's it for this one. There probably will be another video. In fact, I'm sure there'll be another video, because there is a bit that if you remember, I had a box delivered from Amazon and I thought it was something, a little gadget that I'm going to fit into this car. It wasn't, so that's actually coming tomorrow. So I'll probably fit that at the weekend. So there will be one more video for this car. And obviously I'll give you the result of the MOT as well. But as always, thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the button up there. Subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video. And as always, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one.